everyone. Welcome back to another of our infamous vlogs. You know,
Yeah, this one's going to be extra juicy.
this is going to be a little bit dark. We're going to bring you to the dark side of Compass, actually. You know, we've been talking about growth, you know, and growth. We really are all about growth. Sadie and I are personalities. We're change agents. We just can't leave well enough alone. You know, it's just kind of...
It's in our DNA.
It really is.
I mean, one time Eric's like, I think maybe we should stop growing. And I freaked.
I thought I was going to get a divorce. I thought she was going to kill me.
I freaked out.
I'm just going to say I'm happy, and I want to make sure there's a good reason to grow, not just for its own sake. And that freaked her out.
Yeah, we had just started working with a coach, and she was actually digging into kind of why you grow and if you need to grow. And it was really a great exercise.
Exactly.
And
it made me very present to the reality that, I don't have to grow. It's a choice.
Yeah. And if you remember the last vlog, that's quite a difference in Sadie in about 10 years.
Exactly. It really did. I mean, she paid a lot in that. That porcelain experience...
if you don't know what we're talking about, go back and watch the other one, because that sounds really weird.
That porcelain experience was very profound for her. But so we grow. That's really, it's who we are. And it's important to know that we actually continue to grow Compass on purpose. We continue to grow Compass because it is true. There is a truth in the concept that if you're not growing, you're receding or dying. We call that in economics a recession. And that's... people hate those because, they lose jobs, they lose money. It's a painful time. There's seasons when leaves fall off trees, but that's so that they can grow again the next year.
Yeah.
But growth is a important and healthy part of any living organism, including a company like Compass. But also, it's just a lot more exciting, in our opinion, to be a part of an environment where growth is happening, new life is being born. It's my favorite. There's only one part of the hospital people look forward to going to, and that's where the babies are born.
I think the other reason why is it really does challenge you to continue to grow as a person.
Yes.
Growth, even though it's manifesting on the outside, like in numbers of people and new staff and, bigger buildings. The truth is, if you're growing like that, as leaders, you must be growing on the inside. You have to up your game. You have to up every part of your game, from time management to character to leadership skills to communication skills.
Right.
Every part of your game gets upped.
Which brings us to kind of what we're going to talk about today, which is the pain of growth. They say no pain, no gain. Well, that gain is great, but usually when you're feeling the pain, you're not too motivated by the upside of the gain because you're so focused on the hurt. So Sadie, you recently, in our prior vlog, talked about the decision to grow into the East Bay and to go there.
Yeah.
What was the downside of that experience?
So for me, growth meant that I needed to change a lot about myself. And one of the things I had to change is where I lived. I moved down to the Bay Area and lived there. Lived in a trailer down by the river.
Trailer down by the river.
It was really it was a time of growth for me personally. I left what was comfortable and familiar and went to the Bay Area, which was anything but comfortable and familiar to me. And then I also needed to learn a lot. Every regional center is very different. They have different ways of being, different ways of responding, different ways of communicating, different ways of doing their budgeting. And so I just had this tremendous growth curve.
Just a knowledge curve, yeah.
And then the knowledge was I was always going to move back to Reading, and so the knowledge that I was going to be building something that I wouldn't, again, be there every day managing there. So I lived there for about, on and off for about a year. But then it was always in the back of my mind, I'm building this, but I'm not going to be living here. And that was a new, crazy, hard concept for me, and felt sometimes lonely, sometimes just a struggle, definitely a test of my character and my leadership. And it was a really difficult season to really duplicate or, try to take what we were doing in Reading. And honestly, the Bay Area, of course, is very different. So how to take the core values and really metamorphosize them into something that would work in the Bay Area. And I think that took years to figure out. Years. Sometimes
it still feels like we're figuring that out. What was the single biggest cost to you for that growth season?
Besides just physically moving there and the loneliness and just the kind of that disruption, it was definitely a strain on all of my relationships. Like, so Joanne stayed here. I went there. It was a tremendous strain on us. We had led together from that, up to that point. And now we were leading different areas and trying to grow the organization, through that. And it was a real hardship on our relationship, and just figuring out how to lead from a distance, lead people that you weren't going to see every day.
Because before, you were connected to all of your clients and all of your staff.
Yeah, and in Reading, everyone was 15 minutes away. So if something was wrong, I bop on over there. And I remember many, many days. Eric, this is when we were first married, so he knows these stories, but he was there.
I was there for this.
He was there. We had the pager back in the day. So I'd have a pager. And I remember one time I had the pager. I was playing softball. I set it down in the dugout. I went to play softball. I came back to 38 pages. In
about 15 minutes of being in the outfield?
Yes.
Or was that the whole game?
No, that was just being in the outfield.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
38 in one 15-minute stretch.
Yeah. And it was two clients and their staff, and it was all blowing up, and it was in the Bay Area, and I was back in Reading. And so just that sheer panic of, how am I going to manage this? How am I going to deal with this? How am I going to communicate? How am I going to get the resources we need? And I am 4 hours away at a softball field.
Wow.
that was a moment where I was like, is this worth it? Is it worth this kind of pressure to walk out to the outfield and walk back and have 38 pages? And there was nights that I was on the phone for hours and hours and hours dealing with dealing with crises when I was 4 hours away.
Yeah. I mean, dealing in any social service, in any human service, unless you are fortunate enough to have a human service job that allows you to punch in at 9 and punch out at 5 and really be off the clock. And those really don't exist in social service.
I would be very suspicious if you find that in social work.
But, that's just not real life. But when you add a 4-hour difference to it, or a lot of numbers where you're having to do social work and social work management for people that, even if they're in your same environment, but you've gone from 10 clients to 20 clients to, in the Shasta County area, we have 75 in SLS, we have 220 in ILS. That means you're leading large groups of people, and you don't have a really super close relationship with a good chunk of them.
No. That's been a hard change. Just kind of changing my mindset to, I need to help everyone, to I have a community of people that helps everyone. That was a really big switch. I remember another switch for me was, I need to, I love good ideas, and that's something that I really thrive on, good ideas. And when I had to realize I can't be all the good ideas, for a long time, I could be the good ideas. If a client was struggling, I could be the good idea that
it feels good to be the hero, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there were so many ways that I could do that because I have a lot of good ideas.
You do.
And so I was just like, oh, I got that fixed, and I can do that. And then when I started to go, wait, there's not enough of me. I'm gonna have to trust other people. I'm gonna have to step outside of myself. I'm gonna have to really see this as a team approach, not a Sadie saves the day approach. That was hard growth. That was hard. And that's taken time. That didn't happen in a day, but that definitely happened because of growth.
So wow. So so growth really, you have to really be intentional and really want it, because it's going to cost you.
It is going to cost you, and it's going to cost you in ways that you weren't expected to pay. But they will, if you embrace them, make you stronger and make you better and make you have more character, have more integrity about how you lead others.
Absolutely.
So it's not for the weak though. Don't do this if you're a wimp.
Yeah. If you don't have any grit, don't grow. Just die.
Ooh, that's good. I like that. Say that again.
Don't grow with no grit, no growth.
No grit, no growth. Yes.
Exactly.
What he said. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Ciao.